Okay.
Hello.
Hello, we can start now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready, but
okay.
I'm looking at possibility of sharing.
Yes, I will. Just 1 minute, please. Okay, we are all welcome. Thank you for joining us. At the moment, we have 20 participants, and we're still expecting more. This is a great day. I thank you all for making time to
allowing me to screen sharing.
this
So
great,
maybe you might need to actually.
It's been brought to us by Medicsarena. Medicsarena is a platform where health professionals meet to talk, and also not just health professionals, but also their friends. So we discuss issues, both clinical and non-clinical, and we also promote whatever you are doing that you want other people to learn from. It could be your health business, management, leadership, or you are coaching or serving as a mentor to people. And that's what Medicsarena is doing. So we've got two presenters today, and that will Dr. Phillips and Dr. Osiyemi respectively. And the theme we are looking at is Beyond Excellence, Beyond Excellence. So we have got two topics today: effective team leadership through crisis, to be taken by Dr. Sonny Phillips. And the second topic is how to generate high income with just 10 positive changes, to be taken by Dr. Osiyemi. Let me use this time to remind us to mute our speakers. And if you want to have a very good audio, it makes sense also to cancel your video for now, so that you'll be able to get good audio. So without taking much of our time, I would like to officially introduce Dr. Philip. Dr. Sonny Olukunle Philip is a certified John Maxwell leadership coach, trainer, and a speaker he's got a lot of qualification. He's a doctor. He's got MBA, MBBS, MSc, just to name but a few. He's been ranked in the top 20 in 2% in the 2015 published Nigerian top executive in the management industry. Can I ask, please, that we all mute our speaker, please? Because we are hearing some background noises that's interfering with this presentation. I will continue with Dr. Philip. Is a multidisciplinary professional with expertise in leadership, health systems, strengthening continuous quality improvement, learning and development, change management, high performance team building, and motivation. He has led teams for targets-driven multi-million-dollar projects, implementation, and facilitated capacity building to thousands of participants across Nigeria. He's an award-winning public speaker and highly regarded executive and career excellence coach, a faculty of the Leadership Academy of the Nigeria Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Dr. Philip is the founder and CEO of Metrics International Limited, an organization devoted to strategic leadership, management, marketing, and facilitation. He was a former deputy director, learning and development of the Institute of Human Virology, Nigeria, and also served as Nigeria coordinator of the University of Baltimore, Fogarty NIAH EPI Nigeria grant. He is currently the technical lead, health system strengthening and sustainability on the USAID Integrated Health Program in Nigeria, and President Johnson & Johnson sponsored Management Development Institute alumni. He believes strongly that leaders need continual support at enhanced awareness and competence towards adding greater value to leadership opportunity. He's passionate about building the leadership capacity of individuals and organizations to maximally utilize leadership opportunities towards living positively resounding legacies. One of his famous quotes is, "When leadership ends, legacies echoes." What will be your legacy echo? It is my belief that at the end of this presentation, we'll be able to answer the last question, and join me in welcoming this great man that is going to engage us for the next 30 minutes to tell us about effective team leadership through crisis. So without taking much of our time, I'm just going to admit Dr. Olukunle Phillips to take over the platform, and I'm going to make him the presenter in this in the next few minutes. So,
okay, sir, thank you so very much. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the house, especially my very, very, very esteemed senior, Dr. Osiyemi, whom I've had a very good relationship with, particularly early professional stage of mine. He was there, he's been there as a great mentor. And I will never forget one of the coaching sessions I had with him, how to plug the rat holes. So I still make reference to that every time. Dr. Osiyemi, great to have you on this platform, sir.
Thank you very much, and I wish you beautiful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Osiyemi, thank you for making this happen. I wanted to quickly, just for the time we all have together, to make the best use of the time, we're talking about effective team leadership. I have my slide, just some very points, minimal points to share with us, if I'm able to. Okay, I think I can now. So just a second for me to share the slide, and then can we see my slide now? Please, can we see my slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, good. So I will do quick dashes. Okay. Only that I'm having an issue here. People are coming to me to be admitted in, and it could be a bit distracting. Okay. I don't know.
I will take care of that here.
Okay, sir, please do. Okay, sir. So I am the principal investigator, principal consultant for an organization we call Lead Metrics International, registered in the year 2014 to support leaders across different organization platform to make the best impact with leadership opportunities. So that's the organization, and as earlier introduced, I'm also part of this global team, the John Maxwell certified team. We do several other things, but let me just focus on, because of the shortness of time. So we're talking about effective team leadership through crisis. And let's all, just agree that, funny enough, we're in the middle of a major global crisis, the COVID-19 crisis. And by the way, crisis is any event that is going to lead to an unstable, dangerous situation affecting an individual, group, community, or whole society. Sorry. It would be helpful if people can mute their mics so that we don't get to hear all this side talk. Okay? So COVID-19 is a classic case scenario in the sense that this is a one-in-century event where you have a pandemic on a global scale and has disrupted almost every organization, every system, and every country around the globe are all vulnerable and are responding in different ways they best can. So since we're talking about healthcare, we're talking about leaders within the healthcare system. it's good to also kind of look at COVID-19 and the way it's been impacting us. So please, you will find that I'm spacing rapidly just to make sure that I'm able to address all the thoughts that I had in mind. So crisis is a normal thing in life. None of us will be given the privilege of running a crisis-free life. So that acceptance that crisis is a normal component of life takes us off the position of playing the ostrich, hiding our head in the sand, as it were, thinking that, okay, we can just wriggle through life without crisis. And if you go through organizations and you go through their history, you find organizations that have been on ground for over centuries. Organizations such as Guinness, such as some major organization, Qantas Airline, that have been there. And you ask yourself, how come these organizations have been there all this while? It's because they were able to respond properly to crisis. So crisis is a normal incidence of life. As long as you're alive, you're going to be interfacing one crisis or the other. You've also find in corporate system setting, we talk about situations that are ambiguous, crises that are rapidly changing the scenario we are responding to, and all the while. So let's just focus on how we can lead our team effectively in crisis. So we've already started off saying crisis is a normal thing in life. Let me give you a story. And that's from the CEO of Qantas, the airline, the Australian airline, started in 1920. And recently the CEO was being interviewed and they asked him, how do you, I mean, a whole lot of corporate organizations have gone down with the stream, courtesy of this COVID-19. There are companies, there are entities that we will never know again because they've already gone bankrupt based on this COVID-19. And it says something that is very, very crucial that every leader can run with. That can people reference the fact that the organization came to be 1920? That was just at the closing of the First World War. And he said the same mentality that delivered this great organization within the periphery of a major global crisis also saw this same organization through the Second World War, that his organization has been built over the years of its history to respond appropriately to crisis. They never fear crisis. The mentality is that we will also pull through. And this is very important for every one of us to be mindful of the fact that life is riddled with crisis. Some we're prepared for, some we're not prepared for. So we go into the circle of, so we talk about you being the leader. You being the leader has to be what I call the chief calm in crisis. I wrote an article, a LinkedIn article on this, the chief calm in crisis. And I used this as the reference point. When he faced the crisis related to the hacking that was associated with it, to maintain his calmness, not just his own calmness, but the calmness and the sanity of his whole organization, that even before they was facing, he was able to respond adequately to the question that was being posed, and at the end of the day, they were able to reach a conclusion. Some other leaders will have buckled. Some other leaders will have said the wrong message out into that crisis. So you are in crisis. That is when all eyes are on you. Your team for your body language. They are listening intently to your verbal pronouncement. So if you come in and you are ditching out negativity, if you come in and you are re-emphasizing negative story, is that they are already aware of, that is the company or your own hospital platform or your clinic platform to revibrate that, they are also listening. So because your influence on your team is even catalyzed, is further emphasized, is revved up during crisis, are responding in proportionate manner to the energy you are giving out. So you got to be the chief in crisis. I mean, the chief calm in crisis. Also, what you need to be mindful of also is the circle of control. There are things that you will not be able to determine how they end. There are situations that are impacting your work.
Hello?
Your business, that you will not be able to set this measure and this thing. Aware of things that are within.
Sorry,
okay.
Dr. Philip,
okay.
Can you cancel
your
video?
I will right away. Stop video. Okay, good. Okay, I've done that.
Okay, that will help with the audio.
With the audio, okay, good. So there are things that will be within your control, and there are lots of things that you will not be able to control. Will I still be able to share the?
Yes.
If I cancel my video, will I be able? I'm having difficulty now sharing my. Okay, yes. Good. Okay, so.
Continue, we can see your slide.
Accept the crisis. Do not buckle with function of how you have trained yourself to respond. I think you there was an interruption briefly. Hello?
Hello?
Can I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You can continue.
Okay. So if you have always been dodging or you are stepping away for people to fix crisis for you, you will find out that habit will have taken hold of you, that when the next crisis comes, reflexly, you will be looking for where to dodge. A leader is made in events that request leadership. A leader is not made when the leader disappears in times of crisis, or you are now over delegating because you don't want to really steer the storm. You don't want to face the storm. So what you've been doing, and this is where reflection is very key. You need to look back and say, okay, how have I been handling my crisis in times past? What I've also been teaching people is this: develop your life toolbox. Work on your life toolbox. That is this. That is before negative events, before positive event comes. Develop a mechanism proactively that highlights how you engage your positive moments, how you intentionally engage your negative moment, so that you are not just responding reflexly in the face of a new event that is on you. If you have developed over the years your life toolbox, you know what tool is in that box that you can call upon because you've already ranked the events. And so when an event presents itself, you know what tool, how to respond to it proactively. So that's very important. Let me also go on and I'm trying to get the slide back to share. So what you cannot control, quickly put them aside so that you don't dissipate your energy of response. You will find people in this kind of situation, and at times I use this a lot during training, where you will find a leader that is recurrently communicating and talking about, the economic situation, the next policy that is coming down, how the politicians are not doing what they ought to do. Hello, you are not the minister of health, or you are not the minister of finance. Leave the work that they need to do, leave them with it, and concentrate your energy, focus your energy on response. So chief calm in crisis is so key that you position yourself in that space, because the resource or the resourcing for responding to your crisis can only come through the channel of a very clean pipe. If you need water, this is an analogy now, you need water on a dry path and there is a pipe. If water is not coming through, the likelihood is that water is not being channeled through that pipes and through that pipe. And what you should do as an intelligent being will be to clear the pipe of any obstruction. So this is why leaders during crisis are intentional in maintaining their calmness and their clarity. And this is also why leaders during crisis actually take a whole lot of effort in preventing the kind of information they expose themselves to, so that they don't expose themselves to information and events that will make them to begin to respond with an unclear thought, in a confused manner, in an ambiguous way. So when crises come, one of the key things you need to do is to maintain clarity about the things that are within your circle of control. We've already said, you do a scanning, you do a mapping immediately. What can I fix in this situation? The ones that are completely out of your control, you put them aside and concentrate the energy of your team, of yourself, of your organization on what you can do and what you can impact. So let's quickly look at things that I've already coined down as just to make the discussion quick. So we've talked about great leaders know that during crisis, calmness is key to engage the resources flowing through the pipe. Okay, so they have to resist the tendency to overreact, being aware of its impact on the team and other stakeholders. I believe these leaders during crisis need to be mindful of these 4 items. Of course, there are other suggestions, but let's just, for time's sake, be mindful of this. Communication, attitude, learning, and momentum. and they easily form the acronym CALM. During crisis, communication, attitude, learning, and momentum. So I'm going to pick them one after the other. When it comes to communication, we know the Isaac Newton law that says action and reaction are always equal and opposite. And if you want your team to respond in a particular way to a crisis, you actually can design the response, because if you can package some set of actions and take some sets of actions, you can be sure of the reaction you will get. So if you focus on the reaction and say, okay, for this crisis, we need to have this done. We need to have this done. We need to move this organization. If we can no more do 100 patients per month, can we do 50 patients per month? If before now we do not have a holding point in our clinic, can we put that in place? If before now we've never thought of doing infection control training, can we put that in place? Once you itemize the point, the actions you want, or the reaction, the output you want, you now backtrack and say, if this have to happen, what do we need to do? If you're not careful, you will just be acting irrationally and reactively. You are not being proactive. You just find out that, oh, you are waiting for the next issue to drop on the table, and then you rush out so that people will see, they will see motion without movement. Okay, so one of the way you predetermine the reaction you're gonna get is the way you communicate. And in no other time is this most important than during crisis. There are leaders you work with, and many of us can bear witness here, that you can tell if they are having family crisis. You can tell at work that they are having family crisis. You almost can pick it immediately. There are leaders that you meet or whom you have worked with that you can almost state early in the morning if the wife did not greet him, or if he's having an issue at all. Why? He cannot manage to separate that from that event from what is now communicating to you as team members. So if he had already infected you with that negativity, and he now comes up on the podium and say, this is what we want to do today, he's going to need to wind you out of that negative pit before you get to neutral state and begin thereafter to respond to it. So as a leader, during crisis, you pick your word with care. Your body language must speak positivity. Your body language must speak, your body, both your verbal and non-verbal communication must speak to motivate. People shouldn't come to your office and say, Oga, this issue that is going on, what are we going to do? And say, see me, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, where we are going to do. That is a message beyond just, I don't know what we are going to do. That is a message that is already infecting your team members with paralysis. And what you don't want to do, let me say this clearly, within your sphere of control, there is always something positive to do. If you're able to categorize and look at the areas you can influence, based on this issue on the table, can I call someone that can add some value to what I'm doing? Can I seek for additional counseling? Can I respond in this particular way of maybe we tone down the volume of work we're doing? there is something positive you can do always if you don't paralyze yourself or your team by your communication. And this takes a whole lot of reflection as a leader to actually work on your own mental state, to work, even when you are having input from the outside that are capable of demoralizing you. It takes you to really come to the place where you say, no, we can move forward. Self-talk, we can move forward. We'll get over this. So when crafted communication is organization's lifesaver during crisis. I've said your team members are waiting on you, so you have to have something positive to say. If they rush at you and say, oh, we don't know what to do, don't tell them, I wish I know what to do also. No. You must have planned how to respond so that they don't wait on you endlessly for the next line of action. It is so late to think you can pull a spin. That's another thing you don't want to do, where you are pretending that the crisis is not there. You are not accepting reality. You are pretending, oh, don't worry, we will push through. How are we going to push through, sir? No message. Sir, can you break it down what we need to do? No message. Don't worry, by faith. And I'm so sorry I'm bringing this kind of point in. When you begin to say, oh, by faith we'll put through. Hello, faith is not a strategy. Faith is not a strategy. There should be specific actions you and your team have to take that produces the response you need to enhance your market presence. Doing so, that is pulling a spin on yourself or your team, will demoralize your team and further enrage those who suffered loss through your organizational error. Communicate reality with integrity and don't overblow reality. Don't say, oh, now that the schools are not going, people are not coming to hospitals. All the clinics will die. How are we going to cope? Government will have to look for a way for doctors. Don't use such language. Okay, so let's quickly move on. I wish this can move faster. My screen is freezing. Okay, so we've talked about communication and we need to talk about your attitude. If the error to the crisis was from you, own it. If it was a poor decision, own it. If it is something you ought to have done as an organization that you have not done, own it. And I'm bringing up the MWCAP case again. If you can go back to the YouTube clip, during that session, and they were asking him, how come Facebook platform was used to gather information about potential voters and the rest, and how come you release their private information? The guy didn't beat about the bush. Several times he kept on saying, I am sorry, I am sorry, I am sorry. So your attitude counts during crisis. If your team members find out that there is no pride, you are humble, you draw near to them, you beckon on their own ideas, you seek them, you create a platform for them to suggest the way forward, you might find out that the energy will immediately transform. It will not be one of depression. It will not be one of people dropping their neck, dropping their head down, looking morose. If your attitude is key, is positive, is reaching out, is refocusing them on the vision of the organization, is refocusing them on the fact that, hey, hello guys, we've had crisis before. You remember this crisis, you remember that crisis, you remember how we came together and we addressed it and we're able to still be on top of our game. We can get this out, we can do this, we can do this. Your attitude is extremely important. Like I said earlier, what you've been doing earlier, before now, what you've been doing in time past will be the easiest thing you want to, that will come to you to do now. Because during crisis, the tendency is to respond reflexly. So this is why you need to form a habit about all this that we're talking about, okay? So your attitude is key. It is important to avoid every and anything that will present arrogance and tendency to be frozen in a confused, reactive state of mind. The former will dig the leader's grave deeper, that is any sense of arrogance. We dig the leader's grave deeper, while the latter is the fastest means of paralyzing your team. Both will validate your incompetency. And you see, you and your team are not dying after the crisis. So your team is focusing on you during that crisis. If by any means you see the other side of the crisis, do you know your team will respond back and say, hello, do we even need this guy as a leader? Because while the crisis was on, this was the negative way this guy presented his leadership. Or they can actually come to validate and say, wow, this is a great leader. Because while the crisis was on, he was able to still move the ship forward. So be mindful of how you engage your team. We've talked about aggressive, and we've talked about humility. Let me just. So one thing you also want to be mindful of, every crisis is a learning opportunity. Why? Because that is crisis S. You are sure crisis Y is still on the way in future. It may be 5 years' time, it may be 9 years' time, it may be 20 years' time. As long as your organization remains a going concern, you are sure another crisis is coming. So what you want to do as a learning organization is to say, how much learning as an organization can we harvest from this crisis? So there must be a whole lot of documentation. There must be a whole lot of documentation so that even if you exit, or even any of your critical personnel exit, people can get back. Your team can get back and say, oh, when this happened, this was what we did. Okay, we stepped down HR by 20%. Okay, we reached out to the stakeholders for renegotiation of the items. Those must be documented. So the learning is so key. One other thing that it should happen is now, before crisis, you have a way of delivering your value. You have a way of delivering your value to your customer. In the face of crisis, like as we are talking now, many organizations are already moving online. As a healthcare provider, maybe you never even had the minimum of a Facebook page. Maybe you never even had anything close to organizing your patient into groups. Maybe you never even had any platform whatsoever to re-engage your patient after treatment. Now might be the time to include that into your service package. So you are on your toes saying, what are we learning from this? What can we learn from this moment? What can we do better from this moment? And you encrypt them, you record them, you document them. You don't just allow them to fly away so that when the next crisis comes, it still meets you at primary school level. No. This is an example of a country in the Middle East. I don't want to be too pointed to mention the name, but I read a story of this country that is involved in one crisis or the other, that after every outbreak of law and order, and they have used those breakdown of law and order to experiment on their new weaponry. As ridiculous as that can be, do you know that they will turn all the experience of that managing those crises into learning seminars that many other countries will send personnel to go and learn. So during the crisis, they pick on items for learning and package them to be studied by others. And people pay a whole lot of money to attend those crises. To attend those seminars post-crisis. So put on your thinking cap. What can your organization do differently? I'm speeding, and you may guess from my, hold on, I'm trying to change this slide. Okay, momentum. So we've talked about calmness, we've talked about being calm, communicating appropriately, maintaining the right attitude, putting on your learning cap and documenting your learning because the next crisis is coming. And then have an adaptive response. I think I needed to have added that to the learning in the sense that you don't have the full picture. So don't be paralyzed by perfection. Oh, when I get everything sorted, we will respond. No. Build the ship while sailing. Take positive measure and keep learning and keep improving on what you are doing. Don't be paralyzed. And the other thing I also say is this. Be very careful carrying the country load as if it's your load. Always be very careful carrying. So when we talk about health service now, you might find someone that is managing a clinic begin to talk about, oh, a primary healthcare system in Nigeria is in shambles. And then it leaves primary healthcare in Nigeria is in shambles. Begin to talk about tertiary institutions. They are just mortuary. Hello. You are not Minister of Health. We are talking about your clinic. We're talking about your own hospital. Can we just leave the big problem and focus on your own organization and begin to act in an adaptive manner? Learn as you are interacting with the challenges that are coming on the table. Begin to learn and document your response. So the last but not the least is this: sustain momentum. During crisis, the tendency is for the train to be grounded. That is the tendency, for the train to be grounded. And smart leaders knows that once you ground the train, there is no value for the customer. Once there is no value for the customer, there is no remuneration. I mean, there's no inflow of fund. Once there is no inflow of fund, the train will be grounded and buried. So ask yourself, as we are responding, are we grounding the train? Am I taking up measures that are likely to ground the train? So let's be more specific. People are still falling sick. I spoke on a platform that the fact that you have COVID in town does not mean that hypertension is no more inflicting people. Does not mean that people are not coming down with diabetes. And so now, how do you still sustain services so that the train of your service is not grounded while you are responding to the crisis? It's extremely important. It's extremely important. So the worst case scenario for any leader during crisis is over deploy resources for crisis management. So you just imagine if the Minister of Health, and we've been saying this for a while now in some other forum, I belong, move all the health resources to focus on COVID. And you too cannot do that at your level too. COVID is just one out of the several health challenges that you're going to grapple with as a healthcare provider or whatever situation you might be in. So do not ground your train. Minimize and be careful the amount of resources you devote to crisis management. You don't want to use all your resources to focus on crisis. And who knows, maybe the crisis will be a major one, and then the whole ship sinks. So your team must keep the next procurement they make. That is very important. That as you are learning, just like we said, You now need to incorporate this learning as a value addition to the next. Now say, Madam, okay, now we have organized a diabetes
I hope you can still hear. Hello?
Lost me for like some few seconds and entertain question in case people have, or
okay,
you can just close my portion now. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Philip, I believe you've come to the end of your presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, Thank you very much. That was a bit of a problem just towards the end. That is the presentation from Dr. Olukunle Phillips. So thank you very much. I know that you will not see us clapping for you, but I believe everybody is clapping to say thank you for that great presentation. I think what we will plan to do is to go to the next one quickly so that we can take all the question after the presentation, if you all agree with me. So I'm going to pass the baton to Dr. Osiyemi, who will be talking to us on how to generate high income with just 10 positive changes. Just 1 minute to introduce him formally to us. I will quickly go through a brief profile of this great mentor who has agreed to give us a talk this evening. Bear with me, I'm just trying to get his profile ready. So, Dr. Abiodun Osiyemi is a Chief Executive Officer, Oxford Health Consultant, and a specialist medical microbiologist. He's got degree BSc, MBBS, Masters with distinction, MBA, Masters in Forensic Science. He's also got PhD in Management and other numerous degree that time will not permit me to start mentioning. At the moment, he's Chief Executive Officer, Oxford Health Consultants, as I've said, specialist medical microbiologist that is registered with Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. He's an immunologist and fellow Institute of Biomedical Science, London, management consultant and fellow Institute of Management Consultant in Nigeria. He's the president of Forensic Science and Expert Witness in Nigeria. He's also a forensic scientist and associate, Chartered Society of Forensic Science in UK. He's expert witness in medical microbiology and forensic science in UN and Nigeria. Dr. Osiyemi is as said earlier on, he's been practicing as a consultant for the past 28 years. He did his postgraduate training at Lagos University Teaching Hospital and College of Medicine, University of Lagos, before he proceeded to Medical Research Council, the Gambia, to train as an immunologist. He's actively involved in health business and management training, health insurance and HMOs, forensic and crime investigations, management consultancy, health education, and medical legal expert witness. Dr. Osiyemi is a police officer, and he graduated with a distinction grade from the Police Training School and prestigious Police College, Ikeja, Lagos. He is actively involved in forensic investigation, interviews, interrogations, and conducts forensic psychophysiology using computerized recording system. And in 2003, Dr. Osiyemi was elected on merit into the fold of distinguished Nigerians and listed in the publication of Who is Who in Nigeria. And lastly, just to let us know, he was or he is, and he's only just come out of the office of the 59th president of the Rotary Club of Lagos. So, Dr. Osiyemi, you are welcome to this platform, and we hope that in the next 30 minutes or thereabout, you'll be taking us through this magic that you call the 10 positive changes that we need to do to make changes in our income. So, Dr. Osiyemi, you are welcome, sir.
Yeah, all right. I want to thank you, and please give me the right to share my slides. And I'm sure by 7:30 we'll be done.
Okay.
And
so
I do hope
you are the host now. You can share your slide.
All right. Let's see again. Can you? Well, just a moment. Trying to get. It isn't doing yet, but I'm sure maybe in the next 1 minute. And then I do hope everybody can. Yeah, it's not host disabled attendee to share screen. I'm sure. We're just going to get around this. No, I'm not the host yet. It's still Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips, do you know how to pass the host? Just click on your name and see if you can make me the host.
Okay, I've done it from here, so you should.
So yeah, you can. So it's either you allow me or you make me the host.
Yes, you are the host now, sir.
All right, so you can take it and you can snatch it. Not yet, but all right, yeah. So I can do it now. And feel free to snatch your right back when you want to. Okay. So I want to, I have to try and see if everybody has muted. So please try not to unmute yourself now. And I will be taking us in this training, and I'll stick to time. It's going to be a very fantastic, Dr. Osiyemi, you can hear me, can't you? Hello, Dr. Osiyemi, can you hear me? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So in case you don't hear me, Dr. Osiyemi, you'll be the one to tell me, you know,
okay.
phone me. All right. So it's a very fantastic training, and it's how to generate our income with just 10 positive changes by Dr. Osiyemi. All right. So Dr. Osiyemi has tried to introduce me, but you can see very clearly for yourself who I am. I am a fantastic facilitator, one of the best you'll ever meet in a lifetime. So I want you, if you remember nothing, I want you to go home that you met one of the greatest facilitator and speaker in the world. I have 6 university degrees, and this is to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. It hasn't come easy, but because I'm a giant and I'm eagle, this is what giants and eagles are made of. It doesn't come easy, but anybody can acquire it. And this is how you are going to start reconstructing your mind to be somebody who wants to earn high income. As he has said, I am the CEO of Harvard Associates and Oxford Health Consultants. And despite all this, I teach in the university, a consultant, medical microbiology, a police officer and a crime investigator, specialist, lecturer in Lasut. I teach business. So many years ago, with all this, you know, I would have been a perfectly confused person, but I saw the future, and the people who are at the bottom earning the poorest money are the people who do not offer the biggest of values to people. So everybody can offer big value, but you must let people understand how you can do that. Also, the training objectives is you learn how to generate high income with just 10 positive changes and learn the traits of highly productive people. You cannot generate if you are not productive. And also appreciate that being highly productive can be learned. So all of you can be transformed, and all of you can be transformed, and in being transformed, you can achieve a lot. So what are the essential building blocks of being transformed? There is a price to pay. And the first price to pay is you must learn to be a leader. And to be a leader can be learned. Some are born with it. For example, leadership means ability to influence people to achieve a common goal or purpose. I had a PhD in leadership. My personality profile is leadership. And I'm one of the biggest and best leader that God created. So you can see the level of positivity, the level of confidence that I'm delivering. That is the kind of people I want to also make their millions and billions. You need to be frugal. You need to think big. You cannot think like a rat and expect to carry out the work of elephants and giants. You must educate yourself. So I hope that from now you will understand why I have 6 university degrees and many, many more things, is to develop yourself and to have confidence. You need to take calculated risk. Is not stupidity, but is that you understand the statistics and outcome. So before you invest your money in anything, you must have an understanding. You must manage yourself and be disciplined. You must also learn to focus on success. People who earn high, people who succeed, do not focus on failure. The more you think on something, the more it becomes yours. You must network. Today is a networking opportunity and we are networking. You must plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. You must also be action driven and be generous. For example, I've trained over 5,000 people in this country. I've generated and looked at many things, working in different roles. It is because you must also be generous. You want to give, you want to share. You must be sincere and you must gain mastery of this key knowledge of areas. So it is not just things that happen by fluke. You must pay the price. It's like trying to become an eagle. Only 50% of baby eagle becomes adult. Now let's get started. Are there perceptions or similarities between these two, the eagle and the lion? Yes, one is the king of the birds and another is the king of the jungle. And they are kings and they are people that are known with productivity. The same thing as Shakespeare, a genius, likewise Einstein. They contributed so much. And so now, when you give so much value, you are likely also to earn so much. So we are going to look at things very well. The mindset and traits of highly income earners, it means they must have a vision. Vision is how do you intend to be seen now in the future. There must be strategy, using what you have to get what you want. There must be focus so that you don't dissipate your energy. There must also be action. 1,000 words is not equal to 1 action. And so these are the things in which you need to do. You need to understand all this so that you can perform excellently and you can be great. So I do hope that you understand what I'm saying, because if you don't, then you cannot. Can all of you, Dr. Odusami, can you see this slide there?
Yes, we can see the slide.
Fantastic slide. I love Sierra Leone. What can you people see? Generally, you can only see water, and you can see some shanty houses on top of the mountain. And all of us here say that Sierra Leone, please, can you mute your microphone? Let me mute these people. Yes. Please, can you mute your microphone, Shamsuddin? I'll call names now so that people will understand. Dr. Salau, please mute your microphone. Dr. Salau, yes, thank you very much. So this is serious business. Okay. So when we now want to go into serious business, when people look at Nigeria, when doctors look at themselves, when health professionals look at themselves, they are tired. Why are they tired? When people engage me, for example, people pay me 300,000 naira per hour to look at slides as a forensic expert. People pay me 1,000 pounds per hour to write opinion. So why can you not earn this? You can earn this, but it is that your mind does not understand how to. So I will start changing your mind. When I was doing my postgraduate many years ago, I was earning 10,000 naira as a resident in 1994, and it means in 1996, I was earning 10,000 naira per month. It means if I don't touch my salary in 10 years, I'll save 1 million. But then it was because I was thinking like a rat. So how do I want to become an elephant? So most people are doing jobs that cannot help them or do not understand how they have to perform so that they will earn high income. So I'm saying during this COVID period, I have earned up to 300,000 naira per hour. During this COVID period, I have earned over 100,000 naira per hour. How do I earn it? I tell my clients, I am only interested in beyond excellence work. I do not do excellent work because it is for average people. I only deal with beyond excellence. Just like this training, I'm only giving you this training because I'm only interested in people who want to be more than excellent. Average people settle for 1 million a year, 2 million a year, 3 million a year. That is not what this training is about. And I hope you understand very clearly what I'm talking about. So look at Sierra Leone. Nigerians call it poor. Africans call it poor. When I used to walk out of Sierra Leone, people see it as poor and rubbish country. But look at this again. Sierra Leone is damn rich. Now, what you can see in this picture, ladies and gentlemen, is called diamond. All those white things you see are diamond. This was shown to me because I used to go there by a white man who was crying. They go down to mine diamonds. And he only stole to snap this picture. He snapped this picture because they vacuum their clothes when they come out. They vacuum everything. But these are stones well under the ground. So every day, billions is going out of Sierra Leone, but the citizens can't see it. The Chinese are mining it. The British are mining it. And the British wish they were these people. So this is how Nigeria is. They are paying people millions every month, every week, every year. Doctors and healthcare workers are crying. Chinese people are making money out. Everybody is making money out, but the mindset is wrong. Therefore, you can see, why am I talking like this? I had 6 university degrees, and every morning I just look out into the sun to determine what I want to be. It is about high income. Therefore, the power of mindset to generate high income, once your mindset changes, everything on the outside world change along with it. Now, I first did botany before I did medicine. After doing medicine, I did a master's in medical microbiology. From there, I did an MBA. I was doing all this because I want to be a man of value. I told you that wherever I go in the world, and you need to understand this. If you look at this, wherever I go in the world, I am automatically going to be at the top of a pyramid because I have a PhD. Wherever anybody does, I will be on top of the pyramid. Wherever I am in medicine, I have a distinction in medical microbiologist. I have a specialist qualification. So please, Obina, who is this Obina? Obina, please, you have to mute your microphone. And the same for Udoka Adeni and Tudoka Umafo, please. You can see the way I'm behaving. I'm behaving like this because you cannot want to earn million and billion and not show very firm discipline. It is a game of serious discipline. Okay, so Doc, can you hear me? All right, I think Medicsarena.
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah,
go
thank
on,
you.
Please.
Yes, doctor, we are doing very well. The time is enough. I understand what managing time means. So the power of mindset to generate high income. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change. I always never wanted to be at the bottom of the mountain. As a health worker, I did not want to care whether I was paid or not. I knew that I was too big to go on strike, too big to beg, too big to be confused. I knew that if I had 3 different professions as a medical doctor, I could always change. I knew that if I loved my passion as a doctor, I could be the highest. Once I put my passion in anything, I could be the highest. So once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. So for you, therefore, to be disciplined, you must invest in yourself. Service excellence, operational excellence, learning and innovation. I spent so much training myself, getting different degrees, getting MBA, getting PhD. So when the matter arises, nobody will pick any medical doctor or healthcare professional before me. It is, I don't know how, because I have invested so much, I'm so knowledgeable. So I'm trying to tell you, people who earn high income are not mediocres. They are not jesters or jokers. You will soon see the traits. When I was practicing medicine, I see many doctors do not work so hard. Many nurses do not work so hard. Many pharmacists do not work so hard. So they do not respect them. Doctors who work hard, doctors who are distinguished, doctors who invest in themselves, you cannot do anything to them. You fly them around the world. And therefore, even as a specialist medical microbiologist, I am invited in England to write expert reports, and I'm paid £950 per hour. And therefore, do not have any doubt that you cannot be, but you must invest in yourself, and there are secrets. Now, we have a very big problem with our educational system. And the reason why our educational system is this: learning is only one part, and that is input, what I'm doing to you today. But learning has 4 legs. Input is one, but output must be more than input. The output includes assimilating what I'm saying, taking action with what I'm saying, and then you to start sharing knowledge or contributing. That will be 3 legs of learning is output, and 1 leg is input. But in Nigeria, most doctors and healthcare workers have only 1 input. They have learned. So others have the little output, but they are grumbling and complaining. So our educational system has made Nigeria to be backward and not productive, because if you look at this slide, it's a very important slide. We only teach ourselves to remember, to understand and apply knowledge. That can never make you to succeed in life. It is low order skills. They can be taught directly, but not sufficient if you want to be a master. They are means to an end. So most and 99% of our graduates are only taught to remember, to understand and apply the knowledge. But those who want to be giants, they learn high functional learning. They are people with high order skills needed at university and higher life. They are analytical, evaluative and creative. They are the people that produce cars, produce spacer machines, produce incubators, produce transplantational procedures. They don't cry and beg for strike. They are productive because the education lets them to have outputs. Our education only lets us have input and brag. I'm a medical doctor like many other people. I had to start learning to be creative, evaluative, and analytical. For example, Nigeria has been under lockdown. How many doctors know what that is impact on those with cardiac issues? How many people even know how many doctors are in Nigeria and how many frontline doctors we will need? We don't know. And so if we don't know, how can we be analytical, evaluative, or creative? I'm just trying to let you understand that I had to change my educational level from just trying to understand and memorize to being analytical, evaluative, and creative. And that is what will earn you money, not complain or procrastination, which we'll see in the next slide. So now you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are now, please just clap for yourself, because this is the beginning of the turn. So what are the 10 positive changes? The first is you need to, from today, start thinking big. Think big like Google, that they have a database that will give you an answer. Whatever you have been thinking before, I have to strike, I have to protest, I'm not going to do my work, that is bye-bye now. Just start reading about Google. You were all in Nigeria when MTN came. See how much they are charging per second, and see how many, we have 180 million phone users. Just imagine that. Just say 180 million times 10 naira, and imagine what they are making per second. So you cannot now just be a doctor complaining. Start thinking, what solution do you want to provide? What do you want to do? Go and read about the Google history from today. Who are they? What made them different? Start thinking fast. Look at Zoom. Once the COVID started, Zoom was a frustrated man. He's a professor of Mr. Frustration. It took him 9 times to get visa into US. Haven't gotten visa, it also took him many years. In fact, they make jest of him that there was Skype and other phone call solutions. Why was he trying to do Zoom? Forget this. He said, okay, let me just do it. So even when I fail again, I'll say I finished it. Zoom was made in 2011. See how long it is now taking it to really boom. He thought fast when his company did not want to take him on. At Cisco, he said, okay, I'll retire and go and work with my own. So think fast. Right from the time COVID has happened, I've made up my mind. I'm no longer going to work in an office again. From that March, I have been working from home, and I understand what working from home is, and I'm making money. I am no longer, I told my landlord, good night. I'm no longer all my stuff, bye-bye. With my Zoom, with my tablet and everything, I can become anything I want. And I've been doing all my work. In fact, some of the detectives I trained said that they couldn't see me because they don't want to catch COVID. I also had to make my practical module that now I teach practicals without people seeing me to become forensic crime scene investigators. You have to think solution. Look at Microsoft. You don't need to know how to write code and program to type letters. In those days, you needed integrity first and always. Look at Accenture. They get the biggest grade because they are known for their integrity. You need energy to deliver. I have just finished my tenure as the Rotary Club president. I put in so much energy because I believe nobody in the world can beat me at what I want to do. Because we are not talking of play. It is not a time to play. I throw in all my energy. And once I throw in all my energy, I win everybody. So don't anybody who thinks you want to give me a chance or you want to compete with me, you make me happy. Because I have been through fire. Let me tell you, the seagull and the eagle, they are different because the seagull feeds on dead animal, and the eagle, the seagull feeds on dead animal, and the eagle feeds on living animal. But the baby eagle feeds on dead animal, and after a while, it starts trying to behave like the parent to become an eagle. 50% of baby eagle die in the attempt of becoming an eagle. Therefore, it is not easy to become an eagle. So what I'm therefore saying is that to become an eagle is earned, and therefore to be people that will make high income is not from talking. You need enthusiasm as well. Look at Facebook. Look at everything they threw into it. Right from the time Mark Zuckerberg was in university, he started looking into Facebook. They did it as project. He carried it on. Now, if you are not interested in being a billionaire, you can now go. The next 6 slides are for those who want to be a billionaire. Now, the first process, if you want to be a billionaire, is that you must be determined. Information which we gather from university does not make you rich. It is knowledge that makes you rich. So one of the richest people in the world are usually semi-illiterate because they understand knowledge. They don't need to know hydrogen plus oxygen is water, but they need to know dry season and wet season and what will be in sale. So to become a successful billionaire, which I'm trying to teach you now, you must understand that whether you have a parent, whether you have money, whether you don't have a shop, Get started. You see the Igbo boys on the road, they carry their video, they carry their tomato, you see the suya man at the junction, they count money home. So you get started. Your certificate will not make you rich, but your knowledge will. The next thing is get a product. If you sell 3 phones and make 2,000 per phone, if you sell 1 million, you will make 2 billion. If you sell 1 recharge card and make 100 naira, if you sell 1 million recharge card, you will make 100 million. To be rich has a mathematical side, and you must therefore have your goals. What is a goal? A goal is anything you want to achieve within a specified time. Most people want to achieve, but you don't have specific time. When I started my residency, from the time I wanted to be a millionaire, I left Nigeria to go abroad. I was saving 50,000 a year in 2008, and within 2 years, I became a millionaire. Listen, to be a billionaire or millionaire is a mathematical equation. 10,000 times 1,000 is 10 million. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. Look for a product. If you don't know what a product is, look at a woman or a child. Hair is a product. Lipstick is a product. Neck chain is a product. Body cream is a product. Pampers is a product. Computer is a product. Phone is a product. Stethoscope is a product. And antibiotics and drugs are products. Do your mathematics. Sales times product over a specific time. Anything you want to achieve in your life, if you do not put time in it from today, you are going to be a failure. The difference between rich people and failures are people who do not manage time. Therefore, anything you do, you must do it within a specific time. And I'm looking at my 30 minutes because it must be delivered within a specific time. Scoring a goal at Old Trafford after the final whistle is a waste of time. From today, go and write what you have to do as a family man within a specific day. Short-term goals, less than 1 year. Mid-term goals, 2 to 5 years. And beyond that, greater than 5. How much you must save every month. How much you must save every year. How many children you must have within years. How many big jobs you must do. For how long and for what next. And then have a passion. Listen to my voice. See how passionate I am. If you don't have a passion, get out. Be loyal to your product. I've been doing this thing for many years and I'm heavily blessed. And commitment. If you don't hang in there, you can't score a goal. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Now look at this. How to generate high income requires a mind and eyes for results. I am going to sell 10 loaves of bread within 1 week. I am going to sell 10 loaves of bread within 1 day and make 1,000 naira profit. So your goal is 1,000 naira profit a day. If you can only sell 50% of that, then you know that your goal is 500 naira a day. People want to be rich, but they don't want to know the mathematics of success. How most doctors go to work even during strike, you want to earn money. What are you doing with your downtime? Can't you sell shoes? Can't you discuss? Can't you train? Can't you teach? Can't you learn how to sell cameras? Sell how to sell products? You must awaken the giant within you. So this is one of these last slides, how to generate high income. Therefore, a mind and eyes for results. Can you see up to 15 or more items on this slide? Of course, there are more than that, but that is not the duty for today. So finally, I want to thank you. I have told you the 10 things you need to know how to do. And once again, we have just 1 more minute to wrap up because I'm looking. You have to go today and think big. What is Google doing? What is MTN doing? How can you be part of it? What is Zoom doing? Only recently, I decided to call myself a virtual event manager. And I earned 200,000 by just hosting for some old people. I said I'm an event manager and I hosted the Zoom for them. Think solutions. Integrity, let them believe in you. Like I have told you now, I'm training you today, but my real focus is not excellence. I hate excellence. I only believe in beyond excellence. So you'll be hearing more from me from today. And this is my phone number and this is my email. If you are interested in dealing with beyond excellence and solving your problem and leaving this blower down of the battle, then you need to understand that today, some man has come to speak to you, and in speaking to you, he has been able to demonstrate to you that you can be a doctor, you can be everything you want. You have the power. Awaken the giant between you So my name again is Dr. Abiodun Osiyemi. I have a BSc in botany, MBBS in medicine, Masters in microbiology, MBA management, MSc forensic science, PhD in management. I have so many fellowships that I've not even bothered to write them here. So once again, I thank you for listening to the topic, how to generate high income with John 10 positive changes. Thank you very much. Dr. Osiyemi. Hello?
Thank you very much, Dr. Osiyemi.
You're welcome.
That we'll all enjoyed ourselves in the last 30 minutes that he's been talking to us on how to generate high income with just 10 positive changes. I've learned a lot from this presentation. Come to one of the things I actually wrote down is vision plus strategy and focus and action give results. And I've also written down all the, 11 I could see anyway. Think big, think fast, think solution, and so on and so forth. I believe you all appreciate Dr. Osiyemi. We cannot see you clapping, but I believe you are all clapping to say thank you. So thank you very much, Dr. Phillips and Dr. Osiyemi. It is time for us to ask few questions. We hope to close this session in the next 15, 20 minutes. Sorry that we didn't start on time. That's why we are finishing a bit late. There is the presentations are being recorded. If you registered at the initial stage, we'll send it to you. If you have not registered, then you may have to send your email to us so that we
Can they write their name on the chat? Doctor, can they just write their name and email on the chat, their name and email?
I may not be able to grasp everything at the moment. So
thank you very much.
The email is medicsarena@gmail.com. medicsarena@gmail.com. Please send your email to us. You can send this presentation to you. Also, I need to, before we start the question and answer, because some people may want to leave, our two presenters will, as you can see, they are into this program. They have their personal businesses, and we also inviting more people to come and speak to us about their personal businesses. We are promoting them, and Dr. Osiyemi will be having some series of lecture. In the next few weeks, we'll let you know about it. We'll send you the invite, and you can join him on his platform. I think it's going to be happening every week or by every fortnight. Similarly, Dr. Phillips also have his platform where he teaches people, coach people on leadership particularly. And if you go to our website, www.medicsarena.com, there are a lot of things. Please join. It is free to join, except if you want to be a core member that you have to pay $5,000 in a year to get extra benefit. Otherwise, you can promote yourself on our platform free of charge. You can go to the chat room. You can. We have news place for you to announce your events, anything that has got to do with you as medical or non-medical things, or even for those that have not or that have left the medical practice and doing something spectacular that you want other people to know, please come to us. So the place to visit is www.medicsarena.com, and just click on join, and it is free to join. And if you have anything you want to promote, please let us know. We also promote people that are doing crowdfunding. And like I said, we have chat room there. You can go there. There are about 4 or 5 chat rooms that you can actually chat with other professionals. It doesn't matter what area you are or whatever you classify yourself, auxiliary nurse, healthcare assistants, radiologists, social care people, and so on and so forth. That is the platform to go. So I will advise that we keep our speaker muted But if you have any question, just unmute your speaker, raise up your hand, mute your speaker, I call you, and you can ask the question. Thank you. So I'm waiting for the first person. I hope we know how to raise up your hand, or you can send me a chat, a private chat, and I can also read out the question. Anyone? Any question? Hello? Any question? Otherwise, perhaps if there's nothing, maybe there's anything that Dr. Phillips want to explain a little better, or you want further explanation from Dr. Osiyemi? Okay. I can say...
Dr. Odusami, maybe
yes.
Dr. Phillips can just give a closing remarks, and I give a closing remarks, and that could just be it, you know.
Yes, I think someone wanted to ask a question. That's why I want to be sure. But please let me see if there's any private... okay, I've just read from someone that says, great presentation.
Hello.
Thanks to both speakers. Okay, I've not seen any other private chat message. Is there anybody that wants to ask question? You can go ahead and ask. Okay, if there's none, we'll just ask Dr. Philip to please just give us a summary, and then Dr. Osiyemi will close. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Oga Osiyemi. Thank you very much.
You're
it's
welcome,
always a
sir.
pleasure to listen to you, sir. And
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much, sir. So I would just say crises are part of life. Maybe not very many people are opportune, unfortunately, to witness one in century crisis like COVID-19. But you will see some organizations will come out stronger, while some will go down the drain. Everything will be about leadership. Everything will be about leadership. And we all can wear the proper leadership cap and face the crisis, put aside the ones that are completely out of control, save our energy, remain calm so that resourcing can come, ideas can come, innovation can come. And the new learning we are getting as we go on doing the right things, we had it and improve on the package we have for the customer. And that way we come out of the crisis even with a better opportunity to serve our customer better and a better return from the marketplace. Thank you so very much for being there. God bless.
Dr. Phillips, I must tell you, you are somebody I'm very proud of. You have turned yourself into a role model of leadership in our country and beyond. And I want to say, may God continue to strengthen you. As you have also recognized and acknowledged me, I know there are so many juniors of you too recognizing and acknowledging you, and seniors like us also recognizing and acknowledging you. I want to, on this note,
thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome. I want to, on this note, try to tell everybody, you must have read Dr. Phillips' background. You see, he has many chains of degrees. You have seen my background. You see why we have, it was for two things. Knowledge gives confidence. Confidence gives productivity because you have the depth. The depth of the foundation determines the height of the wall. And then secondly, please, business, you are talking of high income, is what can you give? And then you now do the mathematics. I am a medical doctor. I can treat people. How many can you treat within 1 day and over 1 year? I can sell shoes. How many can you sell? How much profit per product times how many number of units? If I want to be a billionaire, I can say I'll sell 1 car and make 1 million. If I sell 1,000 cars, I'll make 1 billion. So on this note, it is easy to get high income, but first focus on the products. I said, if you don't know what products are, look at women and children all over their body, and men, wristwatch, shoe, everything is product, even pharmaceuticals. Then ask yourself, how many products, how many units, what profits, and what targets over time. From today, please make sure everything you want to do is within a specific time. If not, you will waste so many years being medical officers, being specialists, being pharmacists. But if you tell yourself, I want to do this over this period and earn this, life will become enjoyable. It is easy to be a billionaire. Go and become one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Please, if you have not registered at the start as requested during the broadcast, please register. We'll be able to capture your email from there. I will send you this the recording of this presentation, and we hope to see you in the next 2 to 4 weeks when we'll be bringing another edition. Thank you and have a nice, blessed evening. Bye.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.